Josh, come over here. I really appreciate Josh. He's
Not just to sit over there for fun.
He did let me in the house, right? But please share your story, and then after the story, I just have a comment or two.
Okay.
Okay. As Dr. Bennett said, I'm a patient of his. When he met me tonight, he said, I might call you up and have you give a testimonial. I said, only if you want it to be long-winded and watch me cry. So I'll give you a little history. March 29th, coming up, I will retire from the military, 20 years. And thank you. So I have a lot of issues because of that. I have PTSD. I've got some pretty severe anxiety. I've had depression. A little over a year ago, I was in a really dark place, and some things were happening, and my wife suggested that I get some help. So I started looking for things to get help with, and at the same time, my wife took me into the ER because I was having some chest pain, and it scared me to death. But I was even more scared because I watched my mom my whole life go into the ER or into the doctor's office with pains and be told, there's nothing wrong with you. 2008, Thanksgiving, we were staying down with my parents because we live in Logan and they live down here. And about 5 in the morning, I hear my dad yell, Joshua. I wake up, I'm out on the couch. And I look over at my wife and she says, did you hear that? I'm like, oh man, he said it. So I start moving, he yells again, get in the room, and he says, Mom's not breathing. So I start doing CPR. She ends up passing. We're never told why. As I started my journey to try to figure out what was going on with me, they suggested get a sleep study done. I might have sleep apnea. I'm like, sleep apnea is for big fat people. I don't have it. Been an athlete all my life. I'm good. My wife convinced me to get one. So July last year, I go to the ER. December, she forces me to pay out of pocket for a sleep study. Comes back with a 43.5 AHI. The doctor says, you're getting brain damage and you're going to die. So my wife suggests that we go and see Dr. Bennett. So we drive from Logan to Orem. But between December and when we finally went down there in February, I'm doing a lot of study because I don't just jump into things. So I'm studying things, I'm looking at them like, well, maybe a CPAP will work. I don't really want a CPAP because I'm claustrophobic, don't want something on my face. They're telling me, oh, there's these little things now, it's all great. But I look into it and I start reading some studies that say that even on a CPAP, the forced air can cause some atrophy, and it starts not working for you. So I think, oh, I'd rather be cured. So we go down to see Dr. Bennett. He did the cone beam scan and showed me, and it was pretty black, mostly black. And he looked me over and found that my uvula was huge and soft palate in the back was massive. So he did 4 sessions of night lays on me and shrunk everything down, completely painless. The worst thing about night lays was the topical anesthetic they put on the Q-tip going back there made me gag. That's the worst part of the whole procedure there. And when Rick is talking about billing, Lori and the other staff down there, they know billing so well, they got TRICARE to pay for it. If anybody knows TRICARE, they will find every reason in the book not to pay out. They got TRICARE to pay for it, so they know what they're talking about when they talk billing. And I was still struggling with some things, but Dr. Bennett made me promise that I'd be compliant and wear it 12 to 16 hours a day. So I did, and I speak really weird when I don't know how that other guy was speaking so well with his in, because I put it in and it sounds like I'm mumbling. But I started doing it, and after just a month or so, I started seeing some results. I was getting better sleep. I had spent 10 to 12 years waking up with headaches so bad that it made me nauseous. I'd be in the bathroom kind of dry heaving from the pain. My wife thought, oh, he can't go to work today because he's sick. And I wasn't sick, I just had headaches so bad. Migraines that would whole side of my body would go numb, everything. Just after a few months, the headaches were gone. Completely gone. I could wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. I started dreaming again. And not that I wasn't dreaming before, my dreams before were related to combat and things that scared me and things that had me fighting all the time. And now I'm dreaming about my childhood, having wonderful dreams. And so as it's proceeded, the last time I wore my CPAP was during my annual training, because I didn't want to wake everybody up in the barracks with snoring. So the last time I wore my CPAP, that was mid-June. I have not worn my CPAP since then. Which is great, because a lot of times my CPAP was on the floor because I'd pull it off because I don't like things on my face. And I talk to all my soldiers when I hear them snoring in the barracks, pull them aside. Vivos, go see Dr. Bennett. Vivos, go see Dr. Because that's who we have here right now. So, as far as my mental state, all the anxiety, the PTSD, it's allowed me to have a better handle on that, because I'm getting the restful sleep that I should. I can deal with that more. I still have it. It's not gone, but I can talk to my wife about it now, because it's not something I have to hide. I'm able to better express myself and get that out. And every time I go into Dr. Bennett's office, I have to make sure to keep him, grounded, and not let him know that Vivos isn't perfect. So I always have some complaints. My two major complaints about my process so far are: my jaw has changed so much I can no longer bite my fingernails. And there's a really good chance that I'm going to lose out on the 75% disability for sleep apnea when I retire. But I would trade the disability and military retirement to make sure my wife and kids don't suffer the pain that my brothers and sister and my dad suffered when my mom passed. I told you I'd cry.